Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rants. I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today. As usual, you guys know the deal on this channel, man. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, man, and bending reality. And in this video, guys, we're going to talk about some comments that Kevin McHale made some years back. This is some years back, guys. This is an old article that I saw of Kevin McHale, basically putting Draymond Green in his place. Because like I've told you guys on this channel, many of these guys today, they always talk about themselves as if they're the greatest of all times, right? They're the greatest at this. They're the greatest at that. And we all remember Draymond Green some years back talking about he's the greatest defensive player of all time. Draymond Green actually said that, guys. He's the greatest defensive player in the history of the game. He really believes that he's somewhere in that realm when we all know the reality is Draymond Green is nowhere near the greatest defender of all time. And in fact, the era that he's played in exposes that reality. Because we all know that Draymond Green would not win a Defensive Player of the Year in the 90s. But we're going to talk about in this video because Kevin McHale really put Draymond Green in his place years ago with some of these comments he made. And I want to talk about in this video, man, because it's very important that we understand the reality of a lot of these great players from the past, guys, right? And how they approach the game and how they played the game, man. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world. Everyone across the states has been supporting my channel. Once again, guys, I am truly, truly humbled by all support, man. It really means a lot, guys. So thanks to everyone out there, everybody in the membership. Shout out to all you guys, man, for the continued support, man. And you guys know what to do, man. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, I wanted to talk briefly about these comments that Kevin McHale made some years back. I don't know if this was like in 2017 or whenever he made these comments about Draymond Green and some of the things that Draymond Green was saying. Now, we know Draymond Green is very confident and cocky because he played on the dynasty Golden State Warriors, right, of the 2010s. And, Draymond Green speaks as if he's Steph Curry. He really wants you to believe that he's Steph Curry. He's the best player on the team. It was him leading the Warriors, man. Now, Draymond Green was a key member of the Golden State Warriors. No doubt about it, man, right? He's one of those guys that they needed on the team to do some of the dirty work, to play defense, right? To do a bit of playmaking at that position. We get all of that. But what Kevin McHale was talking about when I read this article and he was being interviewed, and they talked, and he mentioned Draymond Green and some of the comments that Draymond Green said in relation to, his Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors and how that matchup would go. Because we know a lot of people love to bring up the Warriors. Oh, the Golden State Warriors, no one could beat the Golden State Warriors. They're the greatest team of all time. And, Kevin Durant and Steph Curry's Warriors and blah, 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 blah. But this was before Kevin Durant came to the Warriors. And Kevin McHale was asked about the Boston Celtics matchup versus the Golden State Warriors matchup, a hypothetical matchup, right? And Kevin McHale said that he would love to go against Draymond Green. And he said that Draymond Green couldn't grow enough. I actually wrote it down what he said. He said Draymond Green couldn't grow enough to guard me, he said. That's what he said. He couldn't grow enough. Now, a lot of people, you may not know or remember, Kevin McHale was about 6'10". But the thing about Kevin McHale that a lot of people don't realize is that this man had some of probably the longest arms in NBA's history. I believe his wingspan was like 8 feet. If I remember correctly, it was longer than Kevin Durant's, guys. His wingspan. This was Kevin McHale. If you've ever seen Kevin McHale and you see his arms, you'll know right away. Damn, this guy got some long-ass arms, right? And that was Kevin McHale. You're about 6'10" with those long arms, which made him a really solid defensive player down low. He could challenge shots with those long arms, right? I believe he made, maybe 4 or 5 all-defensive teams in his career, Kevin McHale. So he was a solid two-way player. But what Kevin McHale was alluding to was Kevin McHale and his low post presence, his post presence, his moves. I think they called Kevin McHale the man with 1,000 moves. Right? They called it the torture chamber. I remember listening to Charles Barkley talk about hating to go against Kevin McHale because of his down-low scoring ability, all the moves he had, the head fakes, all this stuff that Kevin McHale had. So Kevin McHale essentially said, with my height versus Draymond Green's height, I think Draymond Green's like 6'5", 6'6", if that, versus Kevin McHale being 6'10", and they're both power forwards. Kevin McHale said, first of all, he's not big enough. He couldn't grow enough to guard me. And he said, a skilled big man will beat a skilled small guy. That's what he said. And as it relates to the power forward position, there's no way Draymond Green could keep up with Kevin McHale for a full game or a playoff series, an NBA Finals matchup, for example. He wouldn't be able to guard Kevin McHale for a 7-game series. And these are part of things that we're alluding to when Draymond Green makes these statements about how great of a defensive player he is and the position that he plays. I laugh. And we laugh because, dude, who are you going against in the weak era that you played in the 2010s? The softest NBA in NBA's history, the softest era in the history of the NBA. Who is Draymond Green guarding? I'm trying to figure this out. You know, it's funny when they talk about Draymond Green guarding LeBron James. I laugh. Do you guys really believe that Draymond Green at 6'6", 220 pounds, 230 pounds, whatever the hell he is, do you think that he could guard Michael Jordan on the perimeter? You think Draymond Green would be able to stay in front of Michael? Not even close, guys. The quickness of Michael Jordan, the skills of Michael Jordan. And Draymond, he'd leave him standing still. Draymond Green's not a great athlete, guys. He's not even really a really good athlete. He's got no musculature. Look at Draymond Green's body. It's a smooth body. He's got a body of like a 15-year-old boy, man. No musculature from Draymond Green. Not a real athlete. The guy can't jump over a sheet of paper. But Draymond Green said he's the greatest defensive player of all time. Could you imagine Draymond Green in the 90s battling against Karl Malone? Could you imagine Draymond Green trying to stop Karl Malone? 6'9", 260-pound Karl Malone, pure muscle. The guy who was in amazing shape, who did all these crazy workouts in the offseason. Karl Malone, who every single game was there. Didn't load manage, didn't miss games, never got injured. Karl Malone would manhandle Draymond Green. Manhandle him. Could you imagine Draymond Green trying to guard Charles Barkley? Could you imagine that? It would not go well for Draymond Green guarding Charles Barkley, guys. It just would not. He's not the athlete of these guys. He don't got the heart, the toughness of these guys. He don't have the skills of these guys. He just does not. And once again, like I said, he just doesn't have the size to go against those guys back in them days. Is Draymond Green going to guard any of the big men down low? He can't touch Kevin McHale, man. And Kevin McHale, once again, embarrassed someone like a Draymond Green for trying to overstep himself and saying that he's the greatest defender of all time. Just stop the nonsense, man. Draymond Green's nowhere near a Dennis Rodman. Nowhere near a Dennis Rodman on the defensive end. Nowhere near him. I'm telling you guys right now, and I've said this before, Draymond Green does not sniff a Defensive Player of the Year award in the 90s. He ain't winning the Defensive Player of the Year award. I mean, think about this, guys. In the 90s, Scottie Pippen did not win a single Defensive Player of the Year award in the 90s, guys. So are we to believe that Draymond Green would win a Defensive Player of the Year award in the 90s, even though Scottie Pippen couldn't even win one? And the reason why Scottie Pippen couldn't win a Defensive Player of the Year award wasn't because Scottie Pippen wasn't that great of a defensive player, right? It was because of the other great, all-time great defenders that were in that era at the same time, at their peaks. Peak Michael Jordan, peak Gary Payton, Hakeem Olajuwon, peak David Robinson, right? Peak Mutombo, peak Alonzo Mourning. You had all of these great defensive players in the league, peak Dennis Rodman at that time. So Scottie Pippen didn't win Defensive Player of the Year award. Are we to believe that Draymond Green would have won a Defensive Player of the Year award over any one of those guys I just mentioned? Or Scottie Pippen, who never won one? It wouldn't happen, guys. It would not happen. Those are the facts. Not even Michael Jordan won a Defensive Player of the Year award in the 90s. Draymond Green ain't winning one. He's sniffing one, guys. And Kevin McHale's running the money when he says that Draymond Green couldn't grow enough to guard him and that he would not be able to contend with a lot of the guys down low at that position. Draymond Green would get exposed in that. He wouldn't be able to play in the 90s. He wouldn't be a power forward in the 90s. He wouldn't be able to be a shooting guard or a small forward in the 90s. He wouldn't be athletic enough. He would not be quick enough to guard these guys, man. And once again, he's not strong enough, tough enough to play in that era. Dude, soft as hell. Flops all over the court, man. Always crying and moaning. He's a head case out there. He would get pushed around. He ain't a tough guy. In this era, Draymond Green's a tough guy, right? Guys like Dylan Brooks, they're tough guys in this week's soft era. Draymond Green ain't tough guy in the 90s, man. He ain't going toe-to-toe with Charles Oakley. He ain't going toe-to-toe with Bill Lane B or Xavier McDaniel or some of these other guys or Rick Mahorn or Robert Parrish. He ain't going toe-to-toe with those guys. Dennis Rodman, he ain't going toe-to-toe with these dudes, man. He's just not. Those are the facts. He ain't going toe-to-toe with Karl Malone. Get knocked out, man. Guys ain't dealing with that stuff. He wouldn't even be able to go toe-to-toe with Michael Jordan, man. You guys know the deal. Once again, another player from this era exposed, pumping himself up into a realm that he knows he would never be at. These guys, they don't realize they expose their own era when they make these statements. Yeah, you think you're the greatest defensive player of all time in your weak era. He's not even the greatest defender of his era. Is he a great defensive player than Kawhi Leonard was? Come on, man. Was he a greater defensive player than Dwight Howard was? What are we saying? Once again, Draymond Green exposed. You guys know the deal, man. Has Draymond Green been a greater defender than Giannis over the last several seasons? Like I said, man, Draymond Green's nobody in the 90s, guys. He's nobody. I don't even think he makes a roster. Not at that size, at that weak athleticism that he has. No strength. He wouldn't be able to do it, man. No skills. His game overall is weak. A weak game. Guys back in the 90s had two-way play. Kevin McHale was a two-way player. Two-way play. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.